What the? Oh god. Oh Jesus. Alright, well, now that we traveled through space and time, Axe for Days is gonna be on the team 1. How you doing? Beastly locks on the team chill post. We got the Warlock Commander Squad over here. And it's gonna be Shadowlands first up versus Viserys. It's big damage out of the Evoker immediately. Shadowlands having to wall this off. Deep breath to follow. Shadowlands, good thing he had a wall in order to nullify a lot of the damage. Talking about nullify. Nullifying Shroud is up for Viserys. Was that a potential grounding for Shadow? It wasn't. Shadow doesn't have a defense anymore. Viserys just beaming after him. He got himself the wall with the Shroud. Unstoppable right now. When Shadow just go, oh my god. When you pop yourself a Shroud as the Evoker, you're immune to all crowd control effects. When you use Obsidian Scales with the right PvP talent, you're immune to interrupts. You are literally unstoppable. The only thing that can kill you, well, death. The only thing that could end you is death itself. Beastly going to be in, trying to get himself another portal. Is going to be a big go. Viserys trying to go for a sleep onto Beastly, but the man is going to go for a bit of a coil together with a fear. Why setting up a big tyrant? That Pitlord is going to be super deadly. Viserys trying to see if he can bail out of there before the Pitlord spawns in. Just try to go for as much healing as he can. Definitely needs to go for the root as soon as the Pitlord comes out. The Pitlord is out, but the Pitlord is confused. He does kind of more or less know what he wants to attack, but he can't really reach Viserys. Look at him go. Oh, he never even got a hit. Oh, for Viserys, using a mobility to evade the whole army of the Burning Legion. Very well done. Beastly using a portal in order to try to see if he can close the gap with the Viserys. Shatter with the disintegrates to follow, getting quite a bit of damage towards the lock. Does he have an interrupt? Deep breath instead. Wait, actually, maybe enough damage to get out of Beastly. Is gonna go for the Axe versus Viserys. Does Viserys have anything to follow? Trying to go for Sleepwalk versus Beastly. Doesn't quite connect. Trying to go for a bit of a heal. Living Flame in order to keep himself afloat, as Beastly does get himself the shield. Viserys has proper recovery. Beastly does not. Maybe has a Mortal Coil. Maybe could go for Drain, but that is a Battle Master streak, and once the Dark Pact is over, it could be over for him. Viserys just needs to close the gap and take him down. He just needs one big ability to do work. Viserys got himself the smallest shield ever, but he's walking at Beastly. Beastly better have a play Mortal Coil. Demon Doggers trying to get counter-offensive. Viserys better have plenty of healing. Got himself a good self-heal with the Shroud. Immune to CC. Trying to see if he can catch up to Beastly. Going for a bit of a self-heal. If he can just zoom in over towards Beastly with a Disintegrate, do a bit of damage, he can just get him. He got him so close. He got him on the ropes. Dark back at the ready for Beastly. But still, Disintegrates and get blasted. Does he have the angle? Fire Breath does get the interrupt too. Does he get the big Eternity Surge? Disintegrate? Does he? Oh my god, he does take it. Oh my god, fighting through a Demonology Warlock. The Pit Lord, the army of Burning Legion, but the Evoker is trying to make sure that the aspects are proud of him. Look at Viserys go. With Diabolic's going to be up next, another Demonology. No. Another portal by looks of it, but does have a big Fel Lord. That's going to be plenty of challenge for Viserys. This is going to be full summoning of pets with the guillotine too. So the main pet is super extra deadly, stunning all these pets. Is trying to find himself a better angle. Does get a stun to Diabolics, looking for a bit of a heal. Mortal Coil is not going to help him much. Definitely needs whatever he can in order to keep himself alive. Hover with Living Flame is the only thing that's keeping him alive. He has to use Hover with Living Flame. Try to go for sleep immediately as soon as he knows he's going to get disrupted. Does he have anything else to keep him alive? Oh my god, no hell whatsoever. Oh, he needs something, anything. Does get himself plenty of recovery though. My goodness. Does get interrupted, but no stun. No stun. The Shroud protects him. Got himself Living Flame. Obsidian Scale in order to give him more healing. Again, no mana whatsoever. Main just needs to go aggressive. Does get a sleep on the Diabolics. Expected for the Warlock to chase after him. Very limited on how much healing he could do. Very limited on his survivability chances. Deep breath, but I think it's over. Trying to see if he can fly into the arena. Maybe he can get a heal there too. Steel Shroud at the ready, so he's immune to CC, but the Demon Doggers are just so deadly. And Diabolics is going to end up taking him down. But at least he does put him next to Chicago. So maybe for Chicago, it's going to be easier to get himself a proper go versus Dia. Dia getting hit with the Sunder for just second Mortal Coil, sending Chicago in the other direction. And Diabolic's trying to see if he can better himself a better angle. Does support, so he can at least use the ports in order to reposition himself versus Chicago. Knows that Chicago is going to chase, and there goes the port. Chicago needs to kind of chase, but like, maybe you can not chase? I don't think there's really an option, right? You kind of have to chase after the Warlock. You have to get aggressive. You have to have the mobility. Does himself the Feral Lunge in order to get back up to the top platform. Diabolix is going to see if he can jump under it. Got a lot of damage. There's going to be even more pets getting sent in. But does Diabolix have enough to finish off Chicago here? Chicago's taking a lot of damage. Big Axe Toss does summon up the Earth Elemental, which is going to help actually draw some of the demons towards the Earth Ellie. If they can keep the Earth Ellie next to all those other pets. So that should take away some of the pressure from Chicago sometimes. It looks like at least one of the pets is attacking the Earth Elemental, which does help Chicago a little bit. At least some pets are attacking. Could be very deadly for Chicago. Obelisk is down, doing a lot of pressure. Does Chicago have any potential way to deal with it? Roots on all the pets as they're fully empowered. That is going to help them separate, but the Tyrant is going to extend the duration of those pets. All the damage buffs that they got, they're just going to keep trucking it for a little bit longer. Chicago looking for an escape, but down the ramp are all these pets that are super hyper empowered with the Axels. Tyrant trying to see if he can find a better angle. Fear on Chicago, unable to relieve that corner angle. Sunder onto Diabolics. Maybe they have himself a better Maelstrom setup. Diabolics jumping down, but has himself the port in case things go rough. Sending all the pets in Chicago with a wall to follow. Shadow bolting just to get himself some damage and resources. Fear on Chicago with all the pets surrounding him. I think, oh my god, and yeah, the final bite, all the pets do work. With not Biz going to be up next. Diabolics has himself a port, but not a lot of health to work with. Maybe Axtazza could help him. Port needs a port immediately. Does get himself a port, as it was going to be a I think it was a mark for death by the rogue. Mortar coil. Does Biz trinket out of it? He could potentially. Diabolics got a couple of bleeds on him. Spike is going to be over. Yeah, the rogue just taking him out fairly quickly, but that is a warlock walking into a duel with not a lot of health really to help him. Gonna be Chills trying to see if he can get a yoink onto Biz, but he had a pre-cloak with advantage as the rogue just trying to see if he can escape the Death Knight entirely. Eyes are available. Chilpos needs to be very careful with the eyeballs. If he finds the right angle, it's not Biz. You need to send the pets at not Biz, but while you're mounted, you can't control your pets. Gonna be a blind into Biz race as a full dots around him. Big grippy hand is up, so the rogue is gonna have a hard time escaping Chilpos as the grippy hand is gonna grip him in. Stun, has a trigger for it. Evasion to follow. Both of them are jumping down. Chilpos jumps with the rogue, so you can't really go for the shadow step thing. It looks like Chilpos is just gonna stand and wait. Just gotta let the pet do work. I think trying to see if he can avoid the rogue because he knows the rogue has quite a bit of damage. I'd be able to Chilpos as it looks like it's turning around on him. The rogue got himself not a lot of health. The dots are taken down. Oh, the execute does work. I think Chilpos is picking up a playstyle where he's playing more passively. He's just like, all right, I want to get the dots on you, and I'll just let the dots do a lot of the work. Played a dot focus build on Holy DK, summoning up a big A-bomb. Gripping Knife Fox in, doesn't really have much in terms of survivability. May have to go for a Death Pact here. Does use Death Pact. Army of the Dead joins in. Harpoon onto iFox. He wants to stay on top of Chilpos. He can deal with the army, but he needs to find the mastermind of this entire army, this horde of undead. Stun onto iFox. Oh, mad execute by Chilpos, just letting the army and the diseases cripple and just rampage through the hunter. Slow into Fumo immediately. Why he's surrounded by the whole entire pets? It's gonna be Fumo trying to see if he can roll out of it. Blind as the gargoyle is still on Fumo. And Chilpos just trying to see if he can just bail away. Fumo gonna take a lot of dot damage over time. The Chain of Ice is gonna slow him down. I don't really know what Chilpos can really do. I think he's waiting to go for stuns. And just have a stun combos onto Fumo. That's all he can really do. Slow him down, keep him fully dotted. He does need to get a target that he can like Scourge Strike so his dots can be more effective. But while he's got the dots, he got the triple diseases onto Fumo, death calls from a distance. He's just gonna handle it from range. Look at this Unholy Death Knight. That's like a dot class. Gonna be a big jab, stun into Fumo, do the trinket. They want to go for a trinket. Chilpos with an AMS, trying to make sure there's line of sight from Fumo. Got himself the swarm. If they can maybe get one Scourge Strike onto Fumo, those dots are going to be so much more effective. Fumo trying to see if he can remove those damage over time, but he's just still so low in health. Wants to go for Karma, may have to Karma the main pet as it's empowered. Full defensive for Fumo. I don't really know what they could really do in this situation. Could be anyone's game. Does he catch up to Death Knight? Tries to go for a jab. Chain of Ice but chilled. Oh, turns around with a quick Apocalypse. My goodness. Yo, that was insane. He literally went full dot mode. My goodness, Observe with 2, Diabolics with 2, but Chilpos running these boys down to the ground. My goodness, I think this is the first time we've seen some actual proper damage over time on Holy DK. Don't get me wrong, don't